Alrighty, let's jump into this One Piece chapter review with chapter 965, the Kurozumi clan conspiracy. So, we pretty much find out how petty Orochi's family truly is. Um, these kids have literally been trying to get to the number one spot since the jump and has been murking their homies ever since. So I guess it's no surprise that Orochi, the current head of the clan, is pretty much petty as he is too, because it looks like his grandma kind of led him down that route. So
I'm
yeah,
assuming that's his grandma.
yeah, for real. I mean, like it sounded like he was about to be a decent kid too, until he was like corrupted by her practically. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's in a very very small way. I kind of feel for him, but I mean, he's still
I don't.
bogus though. I mean, he still robbed like so many kids, and then was pretty much a part of the plot that I still think he was like assassinated by the poison based on like how they worded how his granddaddy was poisoning the rest of his fellow daimyos. So I think
Mm-hmm.
he really did, assassinate Odin's daddy to get to the spot. So it's like it's still effed up though. But it was at least now we know as far as to like the little bit of the origin. I'm glad they didn't get like deep into it like they should have. Like I'm glad they only did make it like a quick chapter, like half a chapter to really go into it. So like now we know as far as to like how like they pretty much summarized his bad origin and how bad he is like pretty well. So I knew that it had to happen at some point, and I'm glad that they pretty much like finessed the speed of it decently well. So that's the one thing I actually am happy about. Um, trying to think here. And then them getting finally getting into like how Odin's gonna join Roger's crew. I'm definitely excited to see some more information about that. So that looks legit. And then like
So you
I
think
know
he's gonna? You think he's gonna join him? He's gonna join him during this little encounter.
yeah, to be honest. I mean based on wait, hold on. Actually, wait, pause. Fuck. Oh, darn it. Pause. As soon as you said that, fuck. That's dick. That's actually tough to say now because, like, at some point he does have to go. No, I think that's going to be at the end, though, right? Well, fuck. Actually,
It
fuck,
would
and I
seem
don't know
kind
anymore.
of
You just
it
let
would
me
seem
up.
kind
I
of
don't know.
petty for him to be like, all right, Whitebeard, I'm out. Y'all niggas suck. I'm finna go join them,
Yeah, I
and
just
then
thought.
just slide to the other crew.
Damn. I
That's
mean,
that's why I go that way.
fuck. I'm trying to think. Okay, wait, hold up. Let's see. His kids. Yeah, because Momonosuke is already kind of at his age now, isn't he? Um,
Hmm?
because I mean, if you
No, this is
in time when he was like what, like
he's like
10?
I think he's like 2 years old.
Oh, he's only two. Okay. I'm tripping. Never mind. Forget that. All right, then actually, then yeah. I mean, F around. This would pretty much be the perfect time then, right? He deuces with Whitebeard. He joins with Roger. They bang for a few years. They finally come back to Wano and then spend like the last few years of their lives. I mean, that would make sense, right?
So you don't think that it'll be petty for him to just say, "All right, fuck you, Whitebeard, I'm out. I'm gonna go join them."
Petty, to be honest, yes. At the same time, though, based on like how they've been defining Odin's character, he's kind of petty. I mean, like he's like a decent good guy. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, f around. I mean, from his start, he kidnapped like what 50 women. Then they started banging with him, and it's all Gucci. I mean, what? I mean, that's kind of like he's kind of like an F the couch kind of guy, right? So it's
I don't
like
think he kidnapped them. I think they joined him, and somebody made it seem like he was kidnapping them, but they were actually leaving their husbands because they were on some dirty shit. And when people framed him, he was like, "Shit, I don't give a fuck. Let them say that I kidnapped them." Because we can already see, for example, when Orochi
started
stole
out
all the
as
money.
kidnapping, like literally as like the first day, but then like they just insta fell in love and then it was all Gucci. But I think like from like the actual origin of the action itself, I do think that he kidnapped. At least that's well, we can go back for the actual chapter to see if like how they written it, but at least that's pretty much the picture that I got from that. But I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
I feel like all of his crimes were actually just lies against him, and he was actually doing like some noble shit, and he just didn't give a fuck because he knew that he was OP. He was like, yeah, let them say what they want about me. Yeah, I kidnapped him. When in actuality, rescued him because technically people could say that Luffy was kidnapping certain people when he was actually saving them. Like
Also true.
they could have framed that Luffy kidnapped Vivi or shit like that.
I mean, well, again, fair. I mean, it'll still be surprising though, based on the quantity. But hey, I mean, if your pimp game's strong, then let me not sip on the haterade. But
And he keep that pimp hand strong too.
oh
He slap,
fuck!
he,
But
he
as
slap
far
a
as
motherfucker if they say some shit.
oh god, that's around. Yeah, I mean those. I'm trying to think as far as the big highlights, but at least, well, I just think that's. I mean, okay. Let me ask you this then. It sounds like you ain't feeling that homie's gonna stop being with Whitebeard right now. When do you think it'll happen? Like, do you think they'll just like pass this interaction right here, just like a basic, I don't know, brawl and talk, and then like later on, he's like, you know what, Raja was kind of about it. I'm gonna bang with him in like a year or two or so. Like, do you think something like that's gonna happen, or like, what are your thoughts?
I think he's probably gonna go home for some shit, do something, and low key, Roger's gonna come over and be like, "Yo, join me real quick for this final voyage." He could be like, "You know what? I fucks with you. You were cool as hell when I met you the other day. I'm gonna roll with y'all real quick for this little final voyage, whatever you're talking about." And
Oh,
he's gonna leave Toki and his daughter behind, bring his son with him so he can let him see the world a little bit, and then he go come back home afterwards and be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna stay this time."
huh. Yeah. Oh, I can see it. Okay. I kind of see that. I guess yeah, I guess it would make sense in the case that it's like they do have to explain the transition from Shogun of Orochi to Odin and then back to Orochi. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's like pretty much like the blast of the important historical significance with this flashback. So they do have to touch on that first, so I could kind of see that. Um, so okay, yeah, that's around. I guess we'll just have to see.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
There was one more thing though. We'll call her his quote unquote grandma for now.
sure.
The old witch lady who was
Yeah,
able to
yeah.
change her face, who low key has Mr. Two's power, I think.
Yeah, I know. That was like an interesting, like little, like what do you want to call that? Like cameo, if you will. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. So basically, what we saw was what we thought was the king saying that Orochi would fill in the spot for Shogun until
Right.
perhaps, but that was actually the witch,
Right.
right? And that the king is actually already dead, and they're
That's pretty
just
much what I gathered too. Like every time, there would be an interaction between Orochi and like Odin's people, and he needed like backup. He would simply ask which lady to look like Odin, and then like spit and like drop some clout for him. That's pretty much what I gathered, and then also including the actual like Odin's daddy himself. I mean, it looks like I don't even know. To be honest, that's a good question though too. Like I don't even know how they did that, unless this was like a joke. But I don't know like how Orochi was able to sneak in the witch to play as the actual leader. You know what I mean? Because
exactly.
like that's kind of curious. Like I don't even
And if
I like how would you do that? I don't
and
know.
if the Shogun is actually dead, how are they hiding his body? And how would you reveal, that he died, even though they're going to be showing like his dead body, and that body would have been dead already for days or months or however long they've been faking the Shogun,
Right.
and wouldn't they be like, hold on, what? This body's been dead for a whole ass minute. This motherfucker's okay. Y'all want dirt
Right. Like
on
I'm
site.
trying to fuck. Yeah, no, I mean he's definitely gotta be dead. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if that's just like a plot hole we're just supposed to ignore, or if that's actually land on. But those are definitely like some pretty decent questions as far as like the logistics of like the switching. So I don't know. I definitely thought that was curious. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like the only thing that would make sense is that if Orochi had help and like there were like some other supporters to have him be the actual shogun or like the actual leader of Wano, and that they just help them out, like move, like switch the witch and like the actual leader, et cetera, et cetera. Which I guess I wouldn't be really surprised about necessarily, but I mean, it's still odd if any case. I don't know. Uh, but yeah, that was interesting to see the Mr. Two's fruit like reincarnate from like the origin of her. So it was interesting, you know, not significant obviously, but definitely interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And also did state the origin again to Orochi getting the fruit too, um, which is still well, no, I guess it's not a big deal, but it did become well, actually, no. You know, I won't take that back. So I was trying to think, because if any case, yeah, it has to too. Because homegirl, like the mochi mochi power, there's definitely like devil fruit being sprouted up on the island, I guess, randomly too. Because it's like all they really have is that island. So I guess, like yeah, devil fruit doesn't really have like a particular place like where they grows or where they sprout. It's just literally everywhere randomly. So
Well,
that
let's
was
not
also
forget that she's been traveling probably around the whole world or whatever, collecting shit and betraying people and all this and that. So,
well, I mean, do you think so? I mean, I don't know. Like based on like how they're talking about Wano in general, I mean, it's not like there's like, you know, tourists, you know what I mean? Just based on where it is. So, I mean, there's a good chance that Homegirl just has just been like on a random outskirt of Wano and just nobody knew of her.
mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I guess that's debatable a little bit. But I mean, what about damn, can't think of her name. But like the girl with the power of mochi, right? Like where did like she like where did the fruit that she ended up eating to get that power come from?
Oh no, that randomly popped up on the island somewhere.
Right.
Unless
Well,
one of Kaido's crew, they thought it was some trash or whatever, they threw it out and she was like, "Ooh, food."
oh, well, you think it was a well? No, I mean like all smile turns into Zoan fruit users, though. Yeah, is that what you mean? Or
Yeah, but I'm saying maybe somebody actually had it or whatever, and they brought it over to the island, and it got mixed up with some trash or whatever, or somebody was like,
okay, I see what you're saying. All right.
I'm
Well,
just saying it doesn't automatically have to have grown on that island. There's multiple ways it could have appeared there.
I see. Um, trying to think. Does anything else make sense? Oh, well, I mean, low key. What's his face? I'm trying to think. Did they ever shine light on the origin of what's of like oh yeah, like both of them. F and
But the ninjas,
Kinemon. Kinem, yeah. Like yeah, pretty much all of them actually low key. Like
mm-hmm.
Kinemon, Paint Buddy, Homegirl Ninja. She has a fruit, I think. I
You
don't
talking
think
about Kanjuro, Kinemon. We already know that Momonosuke got it from Caesar.
right. Like he
Um,
did have a smile, I think. Um
no, that wasn't a smile.
wait, what?
At least I thought that wasn't a smile. I thought that was an actual devil fruit.
Wait, so I mean, wait, so are we saying both Momonosuke and Kaido got the same original devil fruit then? Because I mean, technically they both have the dragon fruit. So
But aren't those different dragons?
did
Because
did they specify?
Momonosuke flies by grabbing onto clouds or whatever, and Kaido just flies. He regularly flies. Like for example, you have different types of
Though.
dragons.
That'd be
You have
interesting,
you
but
have
it'd also
you
be
have different
kind of
types.
disappointing though.
You have different types of dinosaurs, right? So wouldn't you could
Well,
you have
I mean
different types of
dinosaurs,
dragons?
okay, but I mean like dragon though, like I feel like dragon just is like I don't even know how to describe, but it's like I feel like Dragon is kind of so OP, at least currently in like the One Piece world, that I'd be surprised that they really go into different kinds of dragons specifically.
All
Especially
right, so
considering like it's Kaido we're talking about with the actual fruit. You know what I mean?
so answer this question then. Would you consider Orochi's power to be a dragon?
Technically, no. I would consider that more as like a mythical Hydra. You know, that's what I would consider it as, or at least like similar to. I wouldn't necessarily call that a dragon, at least not me personally. As far as like the whole mythical folklore, I don't have like all the deets, so it might be considered a dragon, low key. But the beast, based on like how it looks, I would say no. As far as like different kinds of dragons, the only thing I could think of would be like a slightly different shape, and then they have like a different kind of attribute that's like associated with said dragon. Um, but other
Hmm.
than that, I would be surprised to see as like a Hydra being like a or like Orochi's what's to say Orochi's power being dragon related. It being Zoan related, yes, but dragon related, I don't know. I'm trying to see what exactly they called his fruit. Uh,
I mean, but you do also realize that they've shown us more than one type of dragon in the show, right? Because the one that Zoro chopped up, that was a winged dragon with with a regular like lizard like body and everything. Whereas, well, I think they would call it like a Western dragon is what Zoro killed, and the one that Kaido is would be like the ancient Chinese dragon.
hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, touche. Um, in my defense, I mean, like they were actually the dragons themselves and not the fruit.
Hmm?
Like, you know what I
Hey,
mean?
what?
Like the dragon like Zoro cut. Like it was actually a dragon, right? Like it wasn't a fruit user, was it?
Right. It was an actual regular dragon. And what I'm saying is, could there not be a fruit that would turn you into that type of dragon also?
Eh, okay. Okay, yeah. I can't really argue against that, at least for the moment. True. True. Fuck. I'll just have to see. You know what? Actually, this might be easier. Um, fuck. So I'm trying to. I'm almost sure. Like I thought he ate the fruit when he was kidnapped at whatchamacallit, right? And I thought it was like a smile product. I was like so sure.
No, because I thought that they had a bunch of random smile products, but then they had this one devil fruit inside of this special case that nobody was supposed to touch. I thought
Hmm.
that was the case.
I'm trying to see here. Friends, like Robin. Okay, it's air, blah blah.
And
Uh
Momonosuke was starving himself, but he got so damn hungry, he said, "Fucking, I'm gonna eat that fruit right there."
oh no, yeah. I'm looking it up right here. Momonosuke ate Vegapunk's man-made mythical Zoan devil fruit that was considered a failure. So yeah,
Okay.
they just thought it was a failed smile, but it turns out it wasn't. So yeah.
Yeah.
In any case, so yeah, I mean, it's curious. It's definitely a thought. I mean, it's definitely like an accurate theory as far as to there possibly being other kind of dragon devil fruits out there. I guess it still is technically possible then.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, but we just haven't seen it yet. So who knows?
True
Uh,
that. True that.
let's see. All right, I think that was pretty much all the big points I had. Also, I'm just gonna mention, like, I keep forgetting that effing Buggy was a part of Captain Rogers' crew. It's like this goofy mother effer, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, goddamn. Like, can we
Granted,
get like someone else from Rogers' crew? It's like
granted
Shanks.
he was only an apprentice.
What?
Granted, he was only an apprentice, but yeah, he was still
Yeah,
there.
I mean, like, I don't know. It's just annoying to see sometimes. It's like, bro, you had an opportunity to like shine a light on another member of like the OG crew, but let's just keep showing effing Buggy. Like, really? Really?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, all right, that was my last note. All right, you good to rate?
Question: do you think that Rayleigh is going to be throwing equal hands with Odin?
Huh. Okay, good point. Let's see. Well, considering second command, well, actually, no, he wasn't able to touch Whitebeard though. Um, damn. That's a
I mean,
decent.
remember all they did was clash. It
True.
doesn't exactly mean that Whitebeard would have got his ass beat or.
Oh, I mean, accurate, accurate. Um, wait, so time out. So what was it? What exactly is your question? Are you trying to like? Are you trying to like imply that your question is Odin stronger than R'lyeh, or like what?
Do you think they're going to be on equal terms? When they in terms of fighting.
Mm,
Because if they're all, if they're all going to be having like a quote unquote sparring match against each other, I would
right,
assume it's going to be a bunch of 1v1s.
sure. I mean, like yes and no. Like I think they're gonna like. I think they're just gonna show clashes like last time though. It would be a very surprising treat if they get into like for real battle logistics between Gold Roger versus Whitebeard, like Cruz. I'd be really surprised to see they really go all out. If anything, I
Mm-hmm.
could see maybe like a 4 or 5 panel like versus R'lyeh and Odin. If it goes farther than that, I'm gonna be really happy. I'd be like really impressed if they really get into that.
Mm-hmm.
But whatchamacallit. As far as your question though, right now, I guess that's not really too far of a stretch to say at the moment. I think that he would definitely put up some hands against R'lyeh. Based on status, I don't think that Odin should be as strong as R'lyeh. He might be able to again like do a couple blows, but I think R'lyeh should still be stronger, and he might just like hold back in the fight or just like not get serious or like so something along those lines as far as them being stronger. But I don't think Odin should be as strong as R'lyeh. Not as like the vice captain of like the most OP crew like imaginable. I don't see that.
Okay.
Granted, I can still think could do work. So it'd be interesting to see like Odin's like 100% as far as like where he really does stand. So I mean, he was, he's about to be like a part of Roger's crew, so he's got smoke. You know what I
Oh
mean?
no, don't worry. We're gonna see it's 100% when he gets dropped by Kaido.
Ooh, you think they're gonna show that?
Fuck, they better. Because I want to see how they have Orochi do some dirty shit that gets Kaido to defeat him.
I mean, to
Because
be honest, that's
I don't
literally
think it's going to be
exactly what
100%
I
just
see
Kaido.
happening, though.
Yeah, I
Like,
don't think it's
I
just going to
don't.
be 100% Kaido overpowering him. I think Kaido and Orochi are going to be on some dirt.
Yeah,
To
no,
be
I completely agree. Like, I think we'll see. I think we'll see like pretty much close to like Odin's 100%, if not his 100%, maybe during that clash. But I think like they're definitely gonna win off some dirty ish. Like, yeah, there's no joke. He's gonna get like assassinated in a way. So,
mm-hmm.
so yeah, that'll probably be a sad chapter, but that's One Piece. Whatever.
Sure.
All right. Good stuff. I'm trying to think. Yeah, definitely good stuff. All right. Yeah, we could rate this, I guess. Let's see, y'all. That was pretty much mostly Orochi being petty. But we did see some Gold Roger, a little bit of hype. I will probably, I'll probably give this a, I'll probably give this a decent as hell minus. Um, Pretty much for one, the hype of the interaction between Roger and like Whitebeard's crew, and then like though I don't like Orochi like being petty, though I did laugh a little bit by the pettiness. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just like in the mood I was in while reading it, but it was like at first I was like about to start feeling bad for like homegirl grandma. Like when the story first started, it made me think like, oh snap, the Kazuki clan really did murk him? What'd they do? And it's just like, bro, why you being all mad? We're just trying to assassinate these kids so I could be king. And it's just like, really? So I ain't gonna lie, I laughed a little bit. So that's kind of but even still, I mean, it's still petty in the end. So I can't give it a straight decent as hell, but I'll give it a decent as hell minus.
Yeah, I was basically going to give it a decent as hell minus, because of the slight hype for Roger and Whitebeard meeting up with each other this potentially last time.
Right.
I'm not going to fall for the ultimate hype of it, or else I would have given it a higher rating, because I only think that they're going to give us a tiny amount of this clash between them. Whether they do a whole fight or whatever, they're not really going to show us what we as the viewers really want to see out of these guys. So I'm just going to give it that bit of hype just because we're going to at least see something from the Roger Pirates. But as far as the rest of the chapter goes, I don't really give a fuck about it. I ain't care about the whole BS with Orochi and his past ancestors being complete assholes and all of that, and he's just continuing the path of them being assholes to try to get the throne.
Agreed. Okay.